Hi, my loves. I am so excited for today's episode because it's all around how to attract premium buyers, especially as we're moving into Black Friday and the holidays and New Year's. I see a lot of humans doing this, which is actually giving premium buyers the ick. And so, if you're new to this podcast, I'm so excited that you're here because we're going to give you a whole bunch of goodies in the side of this episode. For those of you that are looking for a cash injection come the end of the year, for those of you that are looking to attract the right types of clients come next year, those of you that are looking to have the spark back in your business and actually feel like, oh my goodness, this is an expression of my art and I'm having the time of my freaking life, this episode is for you. Inside of this podcast, we talk all things soft savage, as the name gives, and that's the soft side of your life, your love life, your relationships, your mindset, things of that nature, and the savage side of you, that business, that brand, that marketing, that messaging. And that's all the things that we knew here. If you're new here, my name is Laura Patricia Martin, and I have been doing this for, what are we at, 139 episodes, and we've talked all things trauma and relationships and branding and marketing. And in my world, those things are all connected. And we run this movement called the Pre-Housewife Era movement. We're helping strong, independent women like you soften to find their match and also structure, systemize their businesses so you actually have the time freedom. More often than not, I see a lot of women blocking themselves from love because they spent their early 20s building this business and now they want to find love, but they're like, how do I give this up? Like, I don't know how to blend these two. And so we put it all together using these methods that I teach you inside of this podcast. And so this episode, what I've been seeing a lot, what I see a lot during the Black Friday clearance kind of things is like, oh, I'm going to get a quick cash injection and somehow I will just discount things and I will sell things and it's going to be great and I'm going to attract my dream clients because I'm going to slash my prices in half and hopefully that's going to call in my dream people and this is going to be it. This is going to be my big break. Like, you put so many things together. And more often than not, what I've seen from my past experiences and with my clients, that doesn't work, right? There are different things that attract premium buyers and it's definitely not discounts. It's not discounts. Trust me on that. And so I'm excited that you're here and we're going to break this all down. If you want more of this, I'm going to be talking a lot about this on my page this last quarter of the year. So go follow me over on Instagram. It's Laura Patricia Martin. And if you want to take this a step further, we have so many different options of things to jump into, but I really direct you towards Boulder Branding Academy. I'm doing this for a year together and really learning the ins and outs and how to scale, elevate, and automate your brand in your business. And so what I want to cover today and what I want to jump into for the first things today is the psychology of premium buyers. So, when we're talking about different types of buyers, we have, I think there's five of them, five different types of buyers. And so, I'm going to run through them really quick because it's really important to understand this. Is we have innovators, we have early adopters, we have the early majority, we have the late majority, and then we have the laggers. And so, innovators, right? Those are the first movers. Those are the premium buyers. That is, oh, this hits the market. This is something new. This is something fresh. I want it. These are the people you want to attract. And this is why it's so important as we come into the holiday season, Black Friday, what have you, end of the year, all the kind of things. It's not that you discount your prices. It's that you create something that is so innovative for your ideal client and so niched and so specific that they're like, holy pickles, this is what I've been waiting for all year. Because the truth is, at the end of the year, most premium buyers, people that have money, people that have made money, they're looking for tax write-offs, right? At the end of the year, it's like, okay, I need to get rid of some money and I'd rather, invest it in my personal development. I'd rather invest it in myself and my improvement and my success for the coming year versus giving it to the government. And so people that are premium buyers are really looking to spend money this year. A lot of people have this mindset block of like, oh, it's the end of the year, it's holidays, people don't spend money. Certain types of people don't. Sure, they're trying to save for certain gifts, certain things, but people that have money need to get rid of it at this time. And so it's your job to go really, 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 really niche to figure out what is that specific problem that your ideal client is struggling with right now that you can come up with a new, innovative way to fixing that they haven't heard of before, because at this point, they probably tried a lot of things. So it's your job to get into your creative juices and come up with something very playful, very fun, very demure, just kidding. Very different for them to be able to jump in and be like, oh my goodness, this person's inside of my head. This is exactly what I've been looking for. And so, what I mean by all of this is premium buyers are not attracted to discounts, they're attracted to premium messaging. Right? Really, really micro messaging that is going to attract people in to be able to go, holy freaking heck, this person feels like they're reading my diary, like very niched, very specific, very understanding of your person's really, really quiet problem, right? It's not so macro, like, oh, make 10K. Woo! Like, do it. It's more so make an extra 10K so you can actually have time for your kids, so you can actually have time for your husband, because you're so sick of fighting your husband every night and sleeping on the couch and feeling the lack of intimacy because you're struggling financially and he's feeling the weight of the world and you feel a little bit disempowered because you're not actually bringing enough skin in the game. So you want to start making at least 10K a month. Here's who I serve and here's how I serve them. Here's the product that I'm going to put in place in order to help you achieve that goal, right? That is so micro to a specific type of woman versus I'm just going to help you scale to 10K months. Yay. That's what everyone talks about nowadays, right? You have to learn to create a type of messaging during the holiday season that speaks to a premium buyer, that fills the gap for your premium buyer. Because if you're looking at, more of a discount thing and you're like, oh, if I put a discount on it, I'm going to call in all these people, that's more so going to have like the laggers, the last minute buyers, the people that are, they see FOMO, they're waiting for the discount, they're all those kind of things. And honestly, those types of people, they're great types of people, but they're really hard to work with, right? They have the financial struggles, they're waiting for the discount, they're waiting for the things, they're asking you a million freaking questions, they're not motivated, they're waiting for approval, they're waiting for your approval. It's a lot of hand holding in that department, right? A lot of refunds, a lot of late payments, a lot of those kind of things, because it's just that's their mindset. And it's not good nor bad. It's just different types of mindsets, which is why I've structured my entire business model, my entire brand, my entire themes around attracting premium buyers, because it's just easier to work with them. It's easier because I don't have to convince them. It is so much easier to sell something for $20,000 than it is $22. Let me freaking tell you, I don't understand it. They have way more questions when it's cheaper. But when someone that has the money to spend, they're not asking questions. They're looking just who is the right person that I want to gift my money to in exchange for the problem they're going to solve for me and the desire they're going to get me closer to. And that's what you have to highlight too, which leads me to the next part is you have to have, in order to understand this, one, you have to understand the psychology of your buyer. This is a huge thing I talk about in Builder Branding, the program. It's all around understanding the psychology of your buyer. And then two, you have to have a brand that speaks to that premium buyer and how to position your brand to be the go-to authority for that type of buyer, right? If you are constantly discounting things or you're constantly speaking about the price and the discount and that type of thing, and you're not speaking about the desire, you're not speaking about how you're the one, you're not speaking about your story, you're not learning storytelling and learning to speak with conviction and speaking with authority, and you're relying solely on these discounted, like you have your master classes, you have your launches, and then people are only buying at that discounted price of like, oh, for the next 48 hours, this is going to be 50% off. And that's the only time people are buying from you. That's your brand. And so you have to do that inner work of really, not even inner work, it's external work, like brand auditing. And if you want one of those, I have a few spaces open and you can message me about it. But doing a brand audit of what is the theme of the people that you are usually attracting. Are they constantly looking for a discount? Are they constantly trying to like undercut your brand? Or do you have a brand that is something that's like Birkin or Hermes or, brands that you're never looking for a discount at these stores? They don't discount. They have limited options available. And people wait and people pay premium prices for that single drop of a certain bag, right? You have to create a brand that is like that. It's limited numbers for things. You play with the urgency stuff. It is first come, first serve. You play with the mindset of the premium buyer inside of your brand. You present yourself in a certain way. You speak in a certain way, you copyright in a certain way, your photo shoots are in a certain way, your videos are in a certain way. It is completely and utterly your own. It is something that hasn't been seen on the market yet. You're not copying and pasting for this viral bullshit. which is fun, right? Like it gets you the numbers, but at the end of the day, premium buyers are looking for that, this is so new, this is so fresh, this is what stops my scroll. Not necessarily all of the fun little gimmicks and stuff that's out there. It's fun to grow your account, but that doesn't really convert your account. And so the first things first is when you're looking at these Black Friday bundles or these holiday bundles, New Year's Eve, things like that, is do you actually, one, understand the psychology of your buyer? And two, do you actually have a brand that represents a premium brand? Because if you don't, that's your block, baby. That is your block. I was just at a conference this weekend and your brand speaks volumes for you, right? I was at Freedom Queen Live and I'm at this conference and I'm prancing around, and the amount of people that knew me because of my brand. Where in all honesty, I feel like I have slowed down the last few months just for different restructuring reasons, identity pieces, things that I'm doing in my business. I have had to slow down so I can get the full picture of stuff. But the truth is, my brand has been singing along the whole time because it has spoken for me. It has done things for me. And to be in these rooms of people that are my dream clients, like people I have stalked, people I have looked at that I'm like, holy freaking heck, these people are so cool. And I'm learning from them, are now coming like, hey, I've been binging your stuff. You are who I need because here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make the intangible tangible, and here's my artistry, and here's what I see in you. I need to hire you. Let's schedule a coffee. Boom. Because my brand did that for me. It attracts the premium buyers without me even needing to do anything. I was just walking around a conference. I'm an introvert. I don't really go up to people. I'm not like the loud singing one, dancing on chairs and like rah-rahing. Like that isn't my jam. It's just, I'm very much just observing. But my brand speaks for me, so it attracts, right? I'm the person people are attracted to, are seeking out, are ready to pay without me having to be loud, without me having to be out there, without me having to do anything. My brand is just, hey, this is what I offer, this is what I do. And I'm very convicted in that. And I pump things out continuously, and I give value, and I, you know, I express my authority and I show my authority, and I have innovative ways of doing things in this market because that's just the way my brain works, because I am one of the innovative leapers, and so, or innovative buyers. And so my brand represents that. So really look at your brand and do an audit for yourself. Are you an innovative brand? Are you a premium brand? Because if you're not, that is the exact reason why you haven't attracted premium buyers. And you discounting your work is not going to attract those people. It's going to attract the laggers. It's going to attract the last minute buyers. It's going to attract the wait and go see people, right? The majority, right? The people that are like, I'm just waiting to see who jumps in on this and who's the stuff. When at the end of the day, I'm sorry, for me, I want to work with people that are innovators, that are wild thinkers, not like copy and paste done for you models done like me, but people are like, I have something extraordinary. I'm in a league of my freaking own. This is who I serve. I'm just looking to how I present myself on the internet and upload that. Great. I'm the coach for you. Right? Those are the people that I want. Not the people I have to handhold, not the people I have to convince to work hard, not the people that, are waiting for certain things and for me to give them the entire rocket plan. I have clients in my world that we hardly even talk and they're just crushing it. That's the type of clients that I want. And those are the types of people that come from a brand, not from a discount. And so as you're stepping into holiday season, look at that. And so what I want you to do is come up, one, look at your brand, do a brand audit. And then two, I want you to come up with a new unique offer. This is what I want you to do for the holiday season. It isn't, hey, I am, discounting my one-on-one packages. I am, discounting my memberships. I'm discounting my programs. I am instead creating this very niched offer. Whether it is a one-on-one sprint, you guys have seen me do this, whether this is what I'm doing for Black Friday is a very interactive quiz to show you what your blind spot is in business in 2025 and how to actually overcome that. And then I have very specific offers inside of each of those answers that you can buy that then lead into other bigger offers. Whether that is, a virtual party that you're putting together for people where you're just going to spill out all your new offers that you have for 2025 that are very specific and very niche for your premium buyer. Like, I want you to sit down and look at what is one problem you can uniquely solve. And I'll give you an example of this. So say you are a dating coach, right? Instead of saying, I'm going to help you find the man, find a way of finding something that is so micro in your messaging and so unique in your offer of like, I am going to help you figure out how to still be an alpha woman and still be soft in your relationship so you can actually attract an alpha man as a leader. I am going to help you attract love on your pathway of attracting $1 million. I'm going to teach you how to audit, or I'm going to teach you how to have a hard conversation around commitment. Right? Figuring out, and I'm going to do this over the next 2 weeks. We're going to have a one-off session and then we're going to have a 2-week sprint. And then we're going to structure our offers in that way where it's like, you can have this different types of outcomes, right? I did this when I was in the dating world. I had like a 1-week sprint of conflict resolution. Like you're currently in a conflict with your partner and you just need to talk to someone. I have a 1-week sprint for that. So we have a 1-week session and then a 1 week inside of Telegram, and that's it. And then 2 is I'm going to help you over the next, I think it was like 4 weeks, how to get through the early stage dating process because you just finally found the man that you want to be with, but you also haven't had success in keeping the man. So for these 4 weeks, I'm going to be in your back pocket so you actually have success in that early stage dating process and don't self-sabotage. And then I had a 3-month package that was around attracting and finding the man, because that takes a lot more work. That's going to teach you how to get into the field. That's going to teach you how to get into the world. That's going to teach you how to date. Because you've taken time off of dating to do your self-healing and you don't yet feel confident enough to be out in the world. And so you want to do the inner work and the outer work. And so I had these 3 tiers. They're all around dating, but they were very specific sprints that I offered. It wasn't just, hey, I have one-on-one packages available. I tailored these offers. I didn't discount anything. I knew my premium buyer. And so I created this structure of these 3 offers and then I sold them, right? I'm doing things that are similar inside of branding, right? I'm doing things around messaging. I'm doing things around community. I'm doing things around sales. I'm doing things around funnels, right? Like there's different structures for different things based on my Black Friday offers, based on my premium buyer in each of those markets, based on how they answer the quiz. It's really cool. You guys will see it on my page, so go check it out. But I want you to look at your offers this Black Friday. Are you looking at a discount of like something people have already heard? Or are you being innovative? Are you looking at, okay, I know my buyer, right? I just sat here. I studied my buyer. I understand the ins and the outs. I understand exactly what she's going through at this stage. And here's her gap. So I'm going to create a very specific offer for that specific gap. Here's my offer. Right? And these then can lead into your 6-month containers, your year-long containers, your things like that. But I would look at what is a very specific offer that you can create for this Black Friday, for New Year's Eve, for Christmas. How can you start to use these things to call in premium buyers because they're looking for something that is unique and innovative. They're not looking for something that is discounted, right? Your discount is giving them the ick because that feels like, one, as you're selling it, it's really hard. I don't know if you have felt this. If I'm selling something that is discounted, it feels like an insult to my work. I'm just like, unless it's parts of my company that I'm just completely getting rid of and I'm not coaching in there anymore. And it's like, that's part of it. You guys are going to see me do a lot of this with like Alchemy of Love and stuff because we're wiping that side of our business, not out, but it's just not as live, right? So it's like, I'm not coaching in those containers. I'm not doing that kind of stuff anymore. So that is at a discount because I'm taking away part of it that made it such a high-end offer. And so that would make sense that I'm doing a price cut. But other things is like, oh, I hope to get a whole bunch of people out here. It's like, no, don't do that with your one-on-ones. Don't do that with like your new signature stuff. Like play with the innovators, like play with the psychology of them. They want to be first. They want to pay you. They're looking to spend their money this season. They're looking for tax write-offs. They're looking for these things. So don't discount it. Just do some inner work of like, how can you create an offer that provides so much specific value for this one specific problem? And then you're going to look at how can you now work on your messaging. Messaging is the thing that attracts premium buyers, especially during the holiday season. It is not your discount. It is not any of that kind of stuff. It is your messaging, your authority, your way that you can speak to this one specific thing that they feel like, holy freaking pickles, is this person reading my diary because she really knows me? She really, really understands me. That is what a premium buyer is looking for, is your messaging and your conviction within that messaging. Do I really believe that this person can solve my problem? And I believe this person can solve my problem because her messaging is so on point. It's like she's in my head. It's really freaking weird. And so you really have to start to play with these things inside of your freaking brand. right? You have to start to look at, okay, when I'm thinking of my buyer, what is the thing that gets her off the fence? What is the thing that actually makes her buy? What type of buyer is she? What type of consumer is she? What is she already consuming inside of her social media feed that my brand can now like play with? This is something I talk about a lot, where when I'm looking at positioning my messaging and I'm looking at my buyers, I have a lot of intake forms and I have a lot of clients. And so when someone says something in a very specific way about what they're desiring, I write it down. That becomes my copy. I don't change it into a way that sounds more fruitier or sounds more luxurious or sounds more me. I use your words in my copy so that when someone's reading it, they're like, oh my goodness, it's like you're in my head. That's the exact way that I say it. And if some of you don't have clients yet, or some of you are like, I'm switching my niche, or I'm switching who I work with and I don't yet know exactly what they say, go outside to a coffee shop. I used to do this before I ever had clients. Go outside to a coffee shop, listen. Listen to how people say, listen to how your family talks, listen to how your friends talk about the problem that you solve. Those are your content pillars. That's your messaging. A lot of you are overthinking this whole thing of going, oh, if I just do this and I talk about the modalities and I talk about the discount and I talk about this, then I'll get people to come into my offer. No, that's not how it works. It's you have to use the exact words, like no fluff, not chat daddy, not any of these things, like no fluff. Just use the words people are actually using in your copy, and they get really, really good at storytelling. Talk about emotion. 99.9% of people are emotional buyers, and then they justify their purchase with logic. A lot of you are using logic to sell your products. That isn't it. You buy the Hermes bag because it makes you freaking feel fabulous. You buy the too expensive perfume because it makes you feel fabulous. You stay at the expensive resort because it makes you feel fabulous. It makes you feel luxurious. That's me, right? It doesn't logically make sense. It just feels good. It makes me feel a certain way. And so looking at your messaging, what emotion are you trying to invoke in your people, in your buyers? Speaking to their desire, what is possible for them? What is on the other side of this? What is your offer fill? That's what people are looking for on Black Friday. They're not like, I feel so great because I got the discount. It's like, yay, went to Walmart. Like, yay. Sometimes that's fun. But really, it's like if I think about any of the times I bought anything luxurious, I'm not really a name brand person. I'm a luxury hotel girl. I love experiences and certain types of clothes. It is because it made me feel something in that moment and I wanted to lock in a feeling. Right. And in the moment of hotels to me and experiences, that's my luxury thing because I was a broke ass backpacker for 10 years of my life. And so now staying at really nice resorts, it's this experience, it's this identity that I shift into, it's these moments. So I'm taking all of these little moments in, it's this feeling I have in my body. And so I know that feeling. So when I'm looking at luxury hotels, when I'm watching their branding, when I'm watching their marketing, when I get hit with their ads, they're invoking an identity in me. They're invoking a piece in me. They're invoking this part of me that I want to awaken by staying in this hotel. Like if you watch their advertisements, it's always picking at an emotion and I'm sold right away. It's great. And so in your messaging, you want to invoke an emotion and help them step into this new identity, right? When you're looking at the dating, like for the example that I said about the dating, you're invoking an emotion in them, right? You are currently in a conflict with your partner and you're trying to overcome it. What's on the other side of that, right? What is that? You have a supportive partner who celebrates your successes. You guys have wild sex almost every day at this point. Like he can't keep his hands off of you. You're able to handle conflict and have conversations that are actually deep because at the end of the day, you are trying to have a conversation with this person. It's not that you don't love them, but it's just you want to feel heard. And at the same time, you're not fully listening because your self-righteousness is getting in the way. And so when you actually resolve your conflict, you can actually hear each other, you can actually connect together, you can get through these things and you don't feel like someone's leaving you and like popping off every time you say some type of wrong word. You actually feel a deeper sense of connection and you're proud of the two of you. Right? There's deeper things that you're talking to. There's an emotion that you're evoking. There's an understanding that you're talking about. That is the power of premium messaging because you're not talking to the macro. Don't have conflict. You're talking to the micro. Here's what's actually happening inside of the conflict. And here's what's on the other side of that conflict for your one specific client, right? You can't speak to everyone. It's the one specific buyer that you are looking at for that one specific offer. that you're helping them with. And so as you're going through this, it's 1, understanding the psychology, 2, creating a premium brand, and 3, creating an offer that is so unique, and then 4, looking at your messaging, right? And in all of this stuff, you create connection, because ultimately that's what builds a really successful business. Is like, people constantly buy from Apple when they launch something new. People constantly buy from, I don't know, name brands, right? When they launch like Nike, things like that, Lululemon. It's like an identity piece that people have that creates long-term loyalty. And so when you start to do this and you start to work on your messaging and you start to actually understand your audience and create offers that are super niche to them and just get fun, innovative ways during the holiday season versus discounting stuff, when you actually get into these types of space, you create loyalty. That's how you get your monthly recurring revenue. People want to do life with you, right? My clients, they've been with me since Gut Health days. It blows my mind. It's really cool because there's loyalty, right? I create the offers that come next. I understand what they need and I speak directly to their problem and what they desire in their life. And so when you can actually understand how messaging is actually the most important thing to premium buyers, especially lifetimers, this is how you actually create a business. You don't have to sweat about every single month being like, oh my gosh, I'm at 0. And what do I have to do? I have to launch something extraordinary. It's like, no, you know who is in your world because they stay in your world. And every time you launch the offer, it's the same person's buying the offer because they're so addicted to your work, or they just buy the year-long membership because they want it all, right? This is what comes of it. This is what you want to build, right? So as you're thinking of Black Friday, or you're thinking of Christmas, or you're thinking of New Year's, or you're thinking of whatever you celebrate and you're creating an offer around whatever season you're in, long-term plan is longevity, right? Loyalty. What is something that's going to create loyalty with these people, right? This is where I said, if you're going to create these like quick little sprints, it's going to then lead into the 6-month sprint, the year-long sprint. Like, what is that? That's why low ticket leads to high ticket. That's what you should be focusing on this holiday season, not discounts, not any of that. That doesn't keep people in your world. That keeps people at a discount. And that's like a one-off sale. And those are great at times, but that doesn't build, scale, and elevate your business. And that is the name of the game here as we move into the new year, is you want to elevate, scale. Like, this is how you want to do this. And so looking at what is the thing that they need that I can give them really quickly, that's going to lead to the long-term customer loyalty, because that's your long-term game. That is your end game. How do I keep people in my world? How do I keep creating offers that blow their mind, that they're just going to jump in and be like, this is what I need. I need to get closer proximity to you. I need to try this out. I need to do this. This is exactly what I needed for messaging. This is exactly what I needed for content. This is exactly what I needed for sales. This is exactly what I needed for dating. This is exactly what I need for conflict. This is exactly what I need for boundaries. This is exactly what I needed for weight loss. This is exactly what I needed for overeating. This is exactly what I needed for sugar cravings. Look at how many offers you can create inside of your niche that then builds longevity, because it fixes one small thing that they finally do, and then it leads to the long-term connection that is customer loyalty, right? So my loves, what I need you to do, I know there's a lot. Sometimes these things can feel like spraying a hose down my face, but it isn't that complicated. You have to just really, really understand your people. A lot of you are trying to bypass this by jumping on the internet, stalking what other people are doing, and then creating offers like they're creating, or speaking like they're creating, and being copy and paste models of these people, and hoping, oh, if I just write in the way that they do, or do the scripts, or do the copy and paste thing, or create these types of reels and do the virality thing, then something's going to convert eventually. And maybe the thing that's going to convert is my discounts. And then I'll get the premium buyers and the types of people that like speak on stages and write the books and do the things. Like, those will eventually be my clients because I can help them so much and I can see it. And it's like, those people are attracted to premium people. And so I really need you to sit down, right? All of these strategies, all of these things, like all of this stuff can work, but they're attracted to premium people. Premium people don't discount. They innovate. They're the leaders. They go first. They create something absolutely extraordinary. A lot of us are sitting here being like, well, this is too out of my league, or this is too complicated, or this is too out there, where it's like, the things that sell, the things that have sold in my life are the things that they're just fun. Like, how can you have fun this season? How can you be someone that's a leader? How can you be someone that's pushing the needle forward on certain things? Because you go first. At the end of the day, you go first. And you need to take that role, step into that leadership, so that you can actually attract those types of clients because they're looking for you. I've been hearing this a lot lately, and it's been landing on my heart where it's like there are certain people in this world assigned to you, and they can't hear you if you're being a copy and paste. They can't hear you if you're being quiet. They can't hear you if you're being like everyone else. There are people that are assigned to you by God to have your type of work, heal them, move them, make them rich, have the healthiest relationships, get them healthy, like all the kind of things humans are looking for. People are assigned to you to do that. But they can't hear you if you are out here trying to be like me, if you are out here trying to be like anyone else. You have to be the innovator, right? The reason you guys like my stuff is because I'm innovative. People like it's unique, it's different, it's something that's out there. It's the artist way, right? Like that's the thing that's so different, that's the thing that stands out. And that's the way you guys have heard me because it's different, it's unique, it's usually with my messaging, right? So, what you guys need to do is look at how are you being innovative in your messaging? How are you taking the time to understand this? How are you actually moving the needle so that you can be the leader that is necessary to lead your movement? You go first because God assigned people to your mission, but they cannot hear you if you're being copy and paste and you're discounting and you're doing the things like that. Doesn't make you stand out. What makes you stand out is becoming the premium offer yourself and then creating premium offers and then tailoring your messaging so that it really, really, really speaks to these people. And so I'm so excited. Tag me in your fun little offers. Like, I want to see the innovation. I want to see what you guys take of this. I want to see how you create it because it's going to be so, so fun. So, what I want you to do is tag me in it, and it would be so fun. And I love you guys so much. I know I just said that twice, but someone just started talking and it confused me. So, you're welcome for ADD. And I will see you in the next episode because this season gets to be so great. We're going to be talking all around this stuff, expanding the mission, getting you guys out there, doing all the kind of things. So make sure you stay tuned and have so much fun. Take the pressure off. It gets to be fun. Like, remember how when you first started this, it was just like idea, idea, idea. Let's do this. It'll be so fun. Get back to that. Okay. I love you. If this landed on your heart, it means the world to me. If you write us a review, whether it's on Spotify, you give us that 5-star, or if you're on Apple, you scroll down to the bottom and you write us a review and give us the 5-star and then write us something, it means the world. So thank you so much in advance for doing that. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.